Hello! Welcome back to Buckle Up. My name's Jasper and this is the newly facelifted Škoda Enyaq vRS. Let's start with a little bit of a look around the outside. And yes, this is the facelift Enyaq, so a few things have changed. You'll notice that the front of the car has been restyled. Škoda are calling this their new modern solid design language, and I really like it. It's less fussy, it's more simple, and it just looks very sturdy, solid. At the front, you've got an illuminated tech deck. This replaces what was previously the large Škoda grille, and this has 131 individually illuminated LEDs in it. You've also got your signature daytime running lights up here, which are also your indicators, and then you've got split level headlamps, so LED daytime running lights here, headlamps lower in the bumper. The Enyaq vRS comes as standard with matrix LED headlamps. You'll also notice that down here we've got a V-shaped grille, so you've got slats in the plastic and that gives it quite a nice aggressive mean looking front end. You've also got some excellent bits of gloss black plastic in the outer sections of this bumper, and then I really like the body coloured element across the front of the vehicle. It's also the first product where you've got Škoda written out in black text across the front of it. I must also say that I absolutely love this gorgeous metallic red paint, but if you are buying a VRS, it would be a bit of a shame to not get the VRS exclusive hyper green paintwork, because that looks ace. Around at the side you will see some excellent VRS badging in this little black plastic insert. You've obviously got black plastic mirror caps, and then up here I've got some lovely gloss black roof rails. You'll notice that this is the SUV version, but you can also get the Enyaq vRS in the coupe style. Down here you've got some aerodynamic optimized 20-inch alloy wheels, but if you want to step those up to 21s, you can do so on the options list. The side of the car looks very sleek, with gloss black plastic surrounding your windows, rear tinted windows, and obviously this lovely, strong, solid shoulder line along the vehicle. Up top, you'll also see a gloss black shark fin antenna, and then back here, I've got my charging flap. This has got an 84 kilowatt hour battery as a nominal capacity, and fast charges at up to 185 kilowatts, meaning 10 to 80% in as little as 26 minutes. Something that's not immediately noticeable when you look at the side of the vehicle is that the front of it is lowered by 15 millimeters and the rear has been lowered by 10 millimeters over the standard Enyaq. And yeah, okay, it's not a lot, but when it comes to driving the vehicle, that little change and reduction in height does make all of the difference. At the back end, it's very much a continuation of the sleek but solid and sturdy looking design that we know and love from Škoda. You've got your large Škoda script across the boot, you've got this little black plastic spoiler sitting over your rear tail glass, large wiper, lovely LED dynamic scrolling indicator clusters here, and then the VRS comes with an exclusive rear bumper that is black plastic at the bottom, and then you've got this red reflector that runs across the entire width of the vehicle. Obviously, it wouldn't be a Škoda VRS product if it didn't offer a heap of practicality to go alongside your healthy dollop of performance, and I'm pleased to report that if you open this electronic boot, you're greeted with a parcel shelf that I love because it does that little clicky thing where it slides away. And back here I've got 585 litres of storage space, which is absolutely brilliant. It's got a lovely flat load floor, and you do have a little bit of space underneath the floor. I've got an array of nets as well to use with this car, and I've got levers to fold down the rear seats, as well as a total of 4 lovely little hooks that fold down to hook bags of shopping into. The boot's a great size, really boxy, usable shape. The lack of load lip makes it so practical to just shove stuff in and out of, and I do really like the job that Škoda do when it comes to luggage practicality. The back seats of the Enyaq fold in a 60/40 configuration, but you do get through loading for this central seat, which is very handy if you've got a long object to stick through the centre of the car. Equally, if you fold all of those rear seats down, you get over 1,700 litres of boot space back here, which is mightily impressive. So the Enyaq continues to be just as practical in its VRS trim as it is in all of the other trims. Now, the cabin is laid out in a very sensible fashion, and because this is the top of the range, you get some nicer interior options than you do on, say, the base model. Now, it's really nice to see you've got a third zone of climate control back here, which is very nice and handy. You can control that as rear seat passengers down here. You've also got heated seats, 3-stage on both of these outer seats. You've got very nicely accessible ISOFIX points behind flip-down plastic covers, and you've got some absolutely lovely upholstery options. So the Enyaq vRS comes with a kind of cloth microfiber suede type material, or you can get what this has, which is the leather interior, which has got nice little perforated sections on the seat bases, some lovely grey contrast stitching. I must say, if I were buying one of these, I'd probably go for the other interior, because that comes with lime green piping on it, which I think looks excellent. Obviously, it's very practical, so you've got a nice removable storage cubby in the floor down here, which has actually got some flip-out cup holders in it, very nice and handy, and you've got large door pockets as well. And then obviously when it comes to headroom, I'm absolutely fine. So I am 173 centimeters tall, I've got acres of knee room behind my own driver's position, I've got a really good amount of headroom, and I must say, even in the coupe, somebody who's my height or a little bit taller will still be fine for rear headroom. It's only when you get kind of 182 centimeters ish, you'll kind of have to start slouching a little bit. But when it comes to rear space, the Enyaq has always been quite impressive. You get some other really nice touches, such as window blinds as standard. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still optional extras, but it's really nice to see such a good standard equipment list with a car like this. Up front, it's great to see some lovely practical touches whilst also retaining the feel of an excellent sporty cabin. So you've got pretty good materials like you do in the back. These door tops up here are soft touch, as is the dashboard, and you've got some excellent stitched leather across it, as well as a nice little bit of carbon fibre effect trim that runs underneath the air vents. I like this row of physical buttons. Unfortunately though, your climate controls are all in a bar across the bottom of the screen, but at least that bar is permanently there, and it's okay. And like with all the other VW Group products, you can use the voice assistant to adjust temperature, etc., so you don't necessarily have to go prodding in the screen. But again, Škoda do proper climate controls in some of their other cars. It would have been nice to see those here. On the steering wheel, you've got some excellent perforated and flat sections of leather. You've got a lovely little VRS badge at the bottom of it, and that ties in very nicely with the VRS badging on the seats. The centre console is nice and practical with movable cup holders, a large wireless Qi charging pad that has active cooling in it, as well as somewhere else to slot a phone, a couple of USB Type-C ports there, and a couple of USB Type-C ports in the back for rear passengers to charge. You've got a nice storage cubby in the centre, you've got something underneath the armrest which is nice and big, has a removable tray under it, and then you've also got space under the centre console down here, because obviously with this being an EV, there's no transmission or anything to send to the rear wheels. As this is based on a VW Group platform though, the glove box is characteristically tiny. Everything in here does feel pretty good. I really like controls on the steering wheel as well. All the buttons feel nice and tactile. Nice to see physical buttons on a product like this. And you've got your standard cruise control stalk down on the left, and then your light controls over here, as well as your indicators and wipers, as they should be. You do have a touch bar underneath the infotainment system. This is only for the volume, and it does work quite well. It slides very nicely. Again, nice rotary controller, wouldn't have gone amiss there, but I'm pleased to say that this infotainment system is fine. It works quite well. The menus are pretty slick. It swipes through nicely. You've also got a little digital driver's cluster that sits nicely in the dashboard and displays critical bits of information for you, but you've got your large infotainment system here. Other things you get as standard in the VRS, which are very nice, are you get a heated steering wheel. Both of these front seats are both sports seats. They are electrically adjustable with memory functionality. They're both heated, and they both have massaging functionality built in too. So that means that yes, this is a very comfortable cabin if you want it to be. Will it be sporty though? The Enyaq vRS would not be a VRS unless it packed a bit of a punch. And I'm very pleased to report that Škoda have done a very good job when it comes to the powertrain of this vehicle. So you have got an all-wheel drive dual motor setup with a maximum power output of 340 PS. In a total output situation, you will get yourself from 0 to 62 miles an hour in 5.4 seconds, which makes it Škoda's quickest accelerating car tied with the Enyaq vRS, which shares quite a few of the underpinnings. The other thing that Škoda have done an excellent job of with the Enyaq is the dynamic chassis control, which really does an excellent job of allowing you to both put the power down, but also keep control of what's happening. Škoda, also being Škoda, do an excellent job of keeping the controls that really matter to you in very easy reach. So I like the fact you've got a shortcut button on the steering wheel to get to all of your assisted driving systems. You've got a quick turn off function for your lane keep assist if you want to turn that off. And then it's equally just another little tap to get onto where you can turn off your speed warning, etc. if you really want to. This system is pretty slick, pretty easy to use, and yeah, they've done an excellent job of taking VW Group's software and making it a little bit better. The other thing you've got is a couple of quick options to change your drive mode, which obviously, when you've got 340 horsepower on tap, is something you're going to want to be able to do pretty quickly if you want to put it into your sport mode. This certainly feels like it's got a good amount of twist, which it does. 545 Newton meters of torque at the rear and 134 Newton meters of torque from the front motor, 340 PS. So yes, this has got the outright performance. Does it stack up when it comes to the way it drives? Yes, it really does. The chassis control on this is brilliant. It really does handle the weight very well, and you actually get a reasonably good amount of feel from the steering, which is not something you can always say when you're driving a performance EV. It's really refreshing actually to kind of be able to tell what the front wheels of the car are doing as you turn into a corner. Putting your foot down, it's a very nice surge of power. It doesn't outright slam you back into your seat, but it certainly whooshes you away in a nice, fast fashion. Your 84 kilowatt hour battery pack, of which 79 kilowatt hours is usable, is good for a WLTP claimed range of over 340 miles, irrespective of whether you're driving the coupe or the SUV model. In this case, it's a WLTP range of 344 miles. This is a great car to drive. I've had the opportunity today to drive one of these with some all-weather tyres on an off-road gravel circuit, and honestly, the way this standard car handles itself is amazing. You've also got excellent features like full parking sensors and a surround view camera system as standard, which mean that actually when it comes to parking something like this, which it is admittedly a reasonably large vehicle, is pretty easy to do. I've also found it really easy to place on the road because your view forwards and backwards is pretty good, and these door mirrors are really good at letting you see down the side of the vehicle too. This absolutely is a continuation of everything the VRS brand stands for, because what it is a perfectly usable family vehicle that just happens to have a good amount of performance and a really engaging drive. And I'm all for that. This is an excellent vehicle. I love the new styling. I think it really has brought it bang up to date. It looks very sleek and modern and very sensible. There's no fuss when it comes to the design of the new Enyaq. And when you look at the interior, it's very sensible. It's a really well put together interior. I love the design, I love the layout. The only thing I'm missing is some physical climate controls, really, to be honest. Enyaq vRS pricing in the UK currently starts from just over £51,500, but obviously this could be subject to change. You get what you pay for, okay? It's not cheap. This is the most expensive model in the range, but it's also the best model in the range. So that is the Škoda Enyaq vRS driven, and what a vehicle. Yes, okay, you're going to pay a little bit more for it than you will your standard Enyaq, but if you want the performance and if you want the drivability, it's absolutely worth it. That is everything for today's video. So firstly, thank you very much for watching. Secondly, if you'd like to support the Buckle Up YouTube channel, there are a few different ways you can do it. The first of which is our merch store, linked in the video description. All of our social media are also linked down there, so please do go and follow us in those places. And thirdly, if you'd like to stay right here on YouTube, we do also offer channel memberships. I will see you in the next one. Bye.